Daily Double Podcast, back for a spring episode. We're going to be here today talking about some of the Triple Crown that has taken place, the Belmont Stakes, which is this Saturday, some races tomorrow. I almost said at Belmont Park.
Yeah. Next year you'll be able to say that.
Next year we'll be right with that. But we'll be tomorrow at Saratoga Racecourse. I think it's a good place to start. Why are you not back at the Belmont Stakes run at Saratoga Racecourse like you were last year?
Oh, you know what? I've been gardening, and I'm working on my fireplace, and I've been working out. And you know what? I know I want to be there in August, and the price of gas is real high. And you put everything together, and it was like I'm in a good comfort zone. And I could play from my house in my bathing suit, take a few dips in the ocean, play all these races and have a great time.
Absolutely. It's a good answer. I mean, but I was hoping for you to talk about how crowded it was last year.
Oh, well, no, not last year. 2 years ago. I didn't go last year.
You're right.
2 years ago. Yeah. Well, to me, because we've been going there so long, Saratoga handles about 30,000 people comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Soon as you hit 50, 60,000, you got lines to go to the bathroom. You're bumping into people left and right. It's unbelievable racetrack, but
yeah.
I like it for 25,000 people.
Yeah.
I think the new Belmont will be able to hold 50 to 60,000 comfortably and spread them out. You know?
Yeah.
I had to wait to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's no fun. Okay, so backtrack a touch because we haven't recorded a pod in a little while. Let's talk about the Kentucky Derby Stakes this year. I thought it was a great rendition of the race. It kind of felt like Renegade was the best horse going into the day, and then after the race was done, you almost still had that feeling, but the Kentucky Derby is predicated on a lot of racing luck, and we kind of knew that going in. So we knew he could be, it could be difficult for him to get the trip he needed perfectly, and he was still almost able to overcome it. What are your thoughts on the Derby?
Well, you know what? I kept on trying to talk myself off of playing them.
Yeah.
I still wound up playing them 50 to win. I did have $10 to win on the winner, but I also bet $50 to win on Chief Wallaby, and I boxed those. So I was around it. Right. And I still made money. But it was, if he didn't get banged around a few times on the inside, my guess is he would have won the race. But kudos to both of those horses closing, making for an exciting race. But I think you pointed out that it was like 202 and change. The buyer for Golden Tempo wasn't extraordinary.
Yeah.
What'd you say? It was like 88 or something like that, maybe?
Yeah.
I think you told me it was in that range. But you know what? Hey, it was exciting.
It was fun.
You deal with what you got. And it doesn't take away from the excitement, you know?
Sometimes that's going to make for the most fun, the most bettable races. And the Kentucky Derby, I feel like, hit a little stretch for about a 5 to 6 year window where it felt a little chalky. And I know we went back and looked at it. It was like from like 2014 to 2018, something like that. There were a few horses, and maybe not dead favorites, but horses that paid, somewhere between 2 to 1 and
5 to 1.
Yeah, 9 to 2,
in
exactly.
That range.
Yeah,
in that range. And
yeah.
You know what? It only fit. Hey, look, you think about it. With all the information out there, we should know the best horses in the country. We should know which horses are the best, and if they get the trips and whatnot, and with the best jockeys, best train. Hey, look at Sherry DeVoe winning that race. See how excited she was. Also was great for the game.
And she's been on a tour too, like doing podcasts and interviews, and it's been cool to see her get out there. I felt like a big turning point in the Kentucky Derby was about 10 years ago when they made the earning for the points. They made them only a certain distance and above. So I don't know what that cutoff was. Maybe it's 1 1/16 for points or something like that. But essentially, there were no more 6 furlong, 7 furlong races. Like, you remember back in the day, there was a horse named Shanghai Bobby. And Shanghai Bobby got in the race, I think rode by Napravnik, actually. And he got in the race because he won a big 7 furlong race over the summer. Yeah. He wouldn't have been in the Derby in today's Derby, but he makes the race interesting because he sets a pace that creates an exciting finish.
Well, I know, and that seemed to be the trend, but it still seems that in the last few years, they went out too fast.
That's true.
Even, you know what I mean? They went out in 46. It was too fast. Although the front 8 horses went too fast.
Yeah.
And that's why it's set up for the horses running 18th, 19th, and 20th, or 17th, 18th, and 19th. Ran 1, 2, 3. I mean, how often does that happen in a horse race? Not that often. So take nothing away from those horses. The question that we're asking is, how will that evolve into Saturday's running after what we've seen in the last 2 days at Saratoga? Speed playing, speed doing well. There's not a lot of speed in this year's Belmont. It may change the race up. I don't know. What do you think happens?
Well, I was definitely I was on the Commandment wave going into the Kentucky Derby. Now, I knew it was a tall task for him. The race, I don't know why, like the buzz for the Derby or the overall excitement over a particular horse, it still didn't really feel like it was there. It felt like Renegade was, by and large, the best chance we had at a superstar, but it still didn't really feel like he was like a lock. So I am going back to Commandment here to take a chance with him one more time. I think this race sets up a little bit more gentle for him. And if you go back to the Kentucky Derby, there's been notes about how his trip was troubled. It was a tough trip. A lot of horses in the race had tough trips, so I'm not making an excuse for just him. But he ran extremely game to the top of the turn. Like, he almost took the lead at the top of the turn coming for home after like getting bumped around and having to really work hard. I'm not saying I'm convinced that he's better than Renegade, but I'm just saying this race at this particular racetrack, Saratoga, on this day, I think the race could set up for him to get the first jump. And there hasn't been a lot of horses winning off the pace, which we'll get into talking about some racing trends. So I think it may be a little bit of a play with my heart, but I think I'm going to go and ride Commandment one more time.
I could say it. This reminds me a little bit of a couple years ago when Dornock won. Dornock stunk in the Derby. He had the one hole. And how do you play a horse that just ran 10th by 26 into the Belmont? I think he went off 16-1 or whatever. I remember seeing him in the paddock that day. He looked very good. So ultimately,
interesting.
You look at Saturday's race and you're kind of seeing a different configuration.
Yeah, you are.
A slower pace on a speedier type track. I mean, you know, I saw a lot of horses in the last 2 days spinning their wheels in the middle of the track. I was waiting for them to make their moves. It wasn't happening, especially on the dirt.
Yeah.
Even on the turf, it was a little bit like that. But on the dirt,
especially,
it was very much like that. And the inside did very well. And last year, the inside was a little bit of a death trap. But the first 2 days, Wednesday, Thursday, speed inside, 2-path, 3-path was excellent. The middle of the track wasn't as good. So
it's going to make for maybe another exciting race, because it'd be fun to see two horses that ran 1-2 in the Kentucky Derby come back in the Belmont and like neither of them hit the board. Like neither, you know,
it's not out of the question.
It's possible, you know, it's possible.
It's not out of the question.
I want to pull up the whole field here because I have it right here. Yeah. So I'm seeing a field of 9. Does that sound right? I feel like that is right.
Yeah.
Field of 9.
Golden Temple's the 9 way outside.
Golden Temple on the outside. From inside to out, we have Vitruvian Man, trained by Doug O'Neill, Antonio Fresu. Power Shift, trained by Todd Pletcher. Let's see, he just came out of a maiden special weights race. Chief Wallaby, trained by Billy Mott. A lot of people high on Chief Wallaby, maybe him taking another step forward. Renegade, Attino, Growth Equity, which we'll talk about in a second. Commandment, Emerging Market. Emerging Market is the one we're going to talk about, and Golden Tempo.
So lost the shoe.
Talk about what happened to him in the Derby.
Emerging Market lost the shoe during the race of the Kentucky Derby, and after the Derby, it's not like it I don't know how much it compromised him. Not even Chad Brown knows. But he said for a few days he was having trouble walking around, you know, because he was running. So it obviously couldn't have been a good thing.
Right.
Because he did run a credible race at Fairgrounds. And if you watch the race, he wasn't far from that fast pace. So
it's true.
That was a 46 and change pace. What if the pace is 48 and change at Saratoga on Saturday? 48 and change. I think it's very possible.
Yeah.
There's no true speed in here. Somebody may have to do something they don't normally do, like Chief Wallaby, maybe go to the lead. Emerging Chad Brown probably wants to send one of these horses, either Growth Equity or but Growth Equity I think rallied.
Yeah.
So Emerging Market may make more sense to go. Who's on Emerging Market? Is it Flavian?
Emerging Market is Flavian, Flavian.
Well, so Flavian goes to him. That's got to be his major player.
That's his
major player, and he might have a chance in this race. Yeah. Like you're saying, this race could be separated by 2-3 lengths at the wire. Yeah. What about 4 or 5 horses?
Yeah, and we need. I just want to take a quick aside. So Chad Brown trains 2 horses in this race.
Right.
No,
both 3. Otinho as well.
Otinho?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Chad Brown does.
Yeah.
Clarovich Stables owns Growth Equity and Emerging Market. Both of them trained by Chad Brown. This is, obviously not a shot at Chad Brown, but Clarovich Stables, we're going to need you to step your game up. Growth Market or Growth Equity, Emerging Market, it's like they're it's the same name.
They name all their horses with those kind of names. They're a little boring.
And I think they need to spice it up.
It's not real colorful, but they're high quality. They
could
do a lot for the game.
I could see if they were naming their race cars.
They got to be investors.
Yeah, or a stock.
They probably never cooked
a horse
or shot a basketball or anything. I don't
know. Like some of the great names of all time. We should do that one day. We should do like a top 10 names of all time, like American Pharaoh. It's an unbelievable name. It's fun.
It's a powerful name.
Yeah.
Because how many pharaohs are there in America? You don't see that many.
No,
American Pharaoh.
They spelled his name wrong on purpose. You remember that? They split the O and the A. They flipped it. How about this? This is one of my favorite horse names of all time. Fusaichi Pegasus.
Oh,
it's a great name.
Whoa, that's a good name. It's fun saying it. Tickles your tongue a little bit.
It's fun. Lip. But think about, you have Larry Colmus in the booth and he goes, Emerging Market. Emerging
Market.
I mean, he'll spice it up.
Emphasis on it.
Maybe we pick our game up, but just a touch.
It won't be. I don't know. I wonder if it'll be Larry. It may be Frank. Frank Miramati might be calling the race. I think,
true,
bro.
True.
And Frank does a great job. Frank does a great job.
Yeah, they do a wonderful job. All right, so let's talk a little. So that's the Belmont Stakes. There's really not a whole lot to go into with the Belmont Stakes. I think it's pretty straightforward. You're gonna have a race with a light amount of pace up front early, which maybe plays into a Chief Wallaby or someone like that, getting the jump on the field. I think Commitment's in a good spot to take the lead around the turn, and then if the pace is right, you probably get a Golden Tempo and a Renegade pair from the Derby closing and doing their normal thing.
They're going to make a move.
Right.
Question is that move going to be as breathtaking as we saw in the Derby? Sure. When horses deoxygenate and quit, it's like the horses that are running from the back look like they're going real fast.
Right.
And it's not always the case.
Yep.
And this race may set up differently. Look, the fact that Chad Brown puts 3 horses in this race and whatnot sort of tells me, and you pointed out, this wasn't the fastest time. These may not be the best 3-year-olds. They might turn into be pretty good horses, some of them, though.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that's why I think everybody's probably taking a chance in this race and whatnot. It's, this is the car's kind of wide open, I've been playing Saratoga a long time. A lot of deep closers don't do that well. They don't do that well.
And it is here Golden Tempo, just so we're accurate. Golden Tempo had a 95 speed Beyer speed figure in the Derby.
That's not bad.
Which is pretty good. I think what we're thinking about is from the Preakness. The Preakness. The Preakness came up, I think, with the slowest time of all time.
Oh, of course. Right. They won 58 and change.
Yeah.
For Napoleon Solo. Of course, that was a slow race. That was a slow race.
Let's see here. Napoleon Solo, I earned a 95 here. I don't know why. It's maybe... I know it was like one of the slowest times
Is that right?
ever.
Is that what it says? In 158 and change, and he got a 95? Who knows?
So.
There's something's wrong in that mark.
Something seems a little off.
Yeah. Well,
150. Yeah, 158 and 3.
Yeah, that's not
that's
slow time.
That's slow.
Oh no, that's slow time. That's only a second off of the Secretariat's mile and a quarter time.
Right.
It's like. But maybe that's for Laurel. Maybe Laurel, they don't run too many of those. That's the track record. That's the timing. Every track has its unique buyers. It's not like a universal buyer. It's what happens at that track.
So it says here, Secretariat's blazing time of 153 flat remains the gold standard, while originally announced at 154 and 2. The extensive review in 2012 actually corrected the time, cementing Secretariat's status as the holder of the stakes. That's pretty cool. And then 158 and 3, which was this year's time for the Preakness, is off by over 5 seconds.
That's 25 lengths. Hey, what do you? Because Secretary probably could have been jumping over hedges and beating that horse,
Yeah, that's bananas.
But hey, kudos to them all. Look, you know what? Every horse out there is beautiful.
Of course, they're out there running and doing their best.
Yeah,
it's they're challenging themselves too.
Because I think that's why this race is open. That's why I come into it with. I mean, I thought that the race set up for Renegade. Mm-hmm. And even Golden Tempo, and that's one of the reasons why I had the Exacta. But I do not believe this race sets up for them. If they can win with the 48 pace and whatnot, then they're better horses than I think. I'm not betting against them or betting for them, so to speak. I'm probably going to box or something. But, I think this is like wide open. Shortest price would be what? Renegade would probably go off the favorite, and what do you think? 2-1?
Yeah, that's probably fair.
I mean, I couldn't see him any lower than that.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
But Rapoli has a big following in New York,
Yeah, true.
And
true.
And everybody does think that horse had. Right now, Chief Wallaby's, I heard, is taking a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. That makes sense. I don't know if he's going to win, but then again, if he gets out and goes soft. Even if he goes somehow gets out there in 23 and then 48,
that's off.
That's slow. He could run his best race, his highest buyer speed.
That's why I say I think we'll see emerging market. Chat Smart
get up on him a little.
If Flavian handicaps these races, he says we're going to put our horse in the
mix.
spot.
In the mix. Okay, let's talk about tomorrow. So tomorrow is fun.
Yeah,
tomorrow is fun.
The Acorn. It's interesting because that's your 3-year-old filly race with Always a Runner. That's Chad's horse. He won the Oaks. She won the Oaks.
Yeah. What do you think? 2-5 is fair tomorrow?
I think because it's a small field, I think they're going to. This horse is highly revered. Yeah. 2-5 is what I anticipate, and I'm not even sure there's anybody in the race. I can't remember who. Let me see. Oh, Meaning. I'm sorry. Meaning was only 1.5 lengths behind her. Wait a minute. Hold on. Meaning was only 1.5 lengths behind her, and I know that the owners of Meaning really thought it was the best horse they ever owned. That wasn't that far, 1.5 lengths. It's not unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Counting Stars was 2.25 behind her.
Okay.
So, chances are those horses run 1, 2, 3 again.
Yeah.
And whatnot. But you know what?
Of course, on the outside, though, I just feel like it's a premier position. He's just going to break. Going to take the race over whenever he pleases. I don't know.
I think so too, but I still see these biases at this racetrack, especially at 1 1/8.
Yeah.
For years, 1 1/8 races, horses that get clear at 1 1/8 and get to the inside always run better than they're supposed to.
Right.
They go further. And if you look at this, there's no way Always a Runner is going to be ahead of Meaning and Counting Stars in the first 6 furlongs. Right. So that means this horse has to overtake those. So you know what? I as much as I think Always Runner is a high class gun runner, it was only 1.5 lengths.
Yeah. I'm still pretty confident, but.
I'm pretty confident.
If I was going to bet a pick 5 around this sequence, I would single take the free square and move on and spread in other races. I wouldn't take a stab here at him losing.
Yeah,
at her losing.
I wouldn't either. I think her. Yeah. But you know what? And I think the other horses. Another one of them is another gun runner. They're young. They've only run a handful of times. They could improve as well. But I'm with you. I'm Always a Runner. Chad thinks is one of his one of his better horses. You know what?
Yeah.
And that's a good one. But then you've got the New York Stakes Grade 1 for $750,000. That is that's a nice purse.
Yep, I'm going to pull it up here too.
3-year-olds and up.
Oh, I love this race. I have a price horse in this race that I love. So starting in the 1 hole, we have Portfolio Duration, trained by Chad Brown. Now, hold on. Wait a second. Another Klarovich Stables. The horse's name? Portfolio Duration. Yeah. Are you all asleep yet? Yeah. Number 2, Beleza, trained by Miguel Clement. Number 3, Speed Shopper, trained by William Walden. Laura Lynn, trained by Graham Motion. Pretty Picture, trained by Chad Brown. Cancora, trained by Francis Henry Graffad. City Girl, trained by Chad Brown. If I could speak. Cathin, we thought it was Catherine. Cathin Marissa, trained by Chad. Jesus, he has half the field. And Gazora, not to be confused with the great Zagora, who ran back in 2019-ish. Unbelievable turf horse. So take it away, Dad. Before I give my pick, talk to me about how you see the race setting up. And do you think that there is value in this race, or are you keeping it chalky 8-9?
I don't think anybody will get over bet in this race.
Okay.
There'll be lukewarm horses. If you got to somebody who was maybe 8-5, it would be either the 8 or the 9, Catherine Marissa or Gazora. But with the entry of Laura Lynn and City Girl, I think all these horses are going to range anywhere from 2-1 to 7-2, and I think they're all possible. You know,
yeah,
they're all high quality. I mean, Laura Lynn's earned $787,000. City Girl's only earned $166,000. So maybe she's been in the weakest races. Maybe we don't emphasize her as much, even though she is definitely fit. And it seems to me that the 8 and the 9 have shown the most class. You know, with Jose and Johnny V respectively on those horses. I kind of like those two the most. But I think it's a pretty good race. I think it's going to be competitive. What do you think?
I definitely am with you for the most part. The only thing I'd say is, for me, this is a race that I'd love to have like a big daily double live to a horse like Laura Lynn. Reason being, the horse has never finished worse than 3rd. Outside of when he broke his maiden in 2024, he's never not run in a stakes race. Outside of that, he's only run 1 time at this distance. It happened to be at this racetrack. It happened to be in this exact race last year. He wins it. She wins it. Sorry. Thank you. Now, you'd say, okay, well, these last 3 races, he hasn't won. He's over 3 in his last 3. To that, I would say, good point. I just feel like this is the right distance at the right time. And put Kendra Carmouche on a horse with a chance in a big spot. Grade 1, right? Question mark? Is this a grade 1?
This is a
it's a grade 1.
$750,000.
I mean, let's do it. It just feels like a good chance to take a stab.
I like her, but if you look close at Gazora, I don't want to overdo Gazora. But remember, Gazora won the Breeders' Cup last year. Philly Mare Breeders' Cup with a 105 speed rating at Del Mar.
Mm-hmm.
So we know she's got class beating a 13-horse field. She comes back May 1st.
Loses to Cathin.
And loses there. Now, could you say they probably both needed the race, but it just shows you how close they were. I mean, they were length and a quarter apart. I don't remember... that could be the race, though, too. These 2 horses are good. Mm-hmm. These 2 horses are good. If they outclass Laura Lynn. I do like Laura Lynn as far as being consistent. I don't like the fact that City Girl beat her. And I'm a little bit concerned about some of these 80 buyers. But nonetheless, she always tries. She'd need a perfectly timed ride. I'm just not sure she's as good as the 8 and the 9.
You're probably right. It just feels like a right time to take a chance on somebody like this.
You could get 6-7 to 1.
That's why it's fun.
Yeah.
That's why it's fun. So, for instance,
she always competes.
Yeah, I mean, she always is right there. One of my favorite wagers is a pick 3 or a daily double. Especially, for instance, the way I like to play is I would take the race before this, see the post parade, get a feel for how the track's playing on that day, and then play 2 daily doubles, whether they're 2 $25 doubles or $40, $50 daily doubles. Take a horse that makes a ton of sense, that either is your paper pick or somebody that looks fantastic, and lock them in no matter the odds, and then take one more horse that you like based off of something else, like quality of races this year, not off a layoff, how well they've run at the racetrack, something that doesn't necessarily correlate to like their exact odds. Take a price horse, if you will.
Yeah.
Pair it with this. If your price horse and Laura Lynn wins and you have a $40 double, you're going to make over $1,000.
Yeah, you know what?
It's fun.
You know what? I like the way you pull that out sometimes, because ultimately you're getting value.
Right.
And you want to get value. You know what I mean? And as long as you can separate them and you feel confident in it. The only thing I get sometimes is, as I even watch some of the commentators on TV, they spend so much time talking about value, sometimes more than quality of the horse. And sometimes I think I understand the point, and there's certainly a time and a place for it, but I'd like to look and see who I think the best horse is going to be first. It's
interesting. It's an interesting take, and I think I like it. It would be fun to have the option, whether you're watching on your TV or on your laptop or something. It'd be cool to have the option to like click the odds off, like just for like when you're watching the screen, not when you're in there placing a wager, but like just to not even see it, because I think sometimes it does influence your thought, and I think they hammer it home so much because I think that's what they're there to do. You know what I mean? They're there to get you to play.
And not for anything. A lot of times they're right, but there's a whole bunch of times they're wrong too. In other words, because they overemphasize that, it's like, there's a few commentators in particular, I don't want to mention them, but it's like last time they picked one winner out of about 40. It's like because they're always trying to beat the horses that are going to win.
Yeah, well, I'll say somebody very specifically, and we've seen it at Saratoga over and over, and we saw it this year. And again, it's not necessarily that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, but Andy Serling, you'll see him like a horse, and then the horse go to even money, and him go, I can't play this horse. But he'd been talking about how much he liked the horse for 17 minutes in their little post parade. And then in the morning, he talks about this being his pick, and then the race comes, and then his horse wins by 4.
I think that's too inconsistent. I don't think that's a good way to approach it. It comes across, handicap the race. Handicap the race and let it go. I mean, I understand the value, but like I said, I think they overdo the value sometimes. You know what I mean?
So here would be an interesting thought. I wonder if they're so obviously they probably have meetings where they sit down and they talk about a plan for the day or the schedule or whatever. I wonder if the higher ups in these companies tell them, key in on trying to pick a price horse every so often, do this, do that, or if they give them complete freedom.
You know what? No, I think that they're trying to make it a fun deal, and I value that. In other words, so ultimately, look, you and I have handicapped so many races. It's like there are races. Hey, I played the pick 5 today, thinking that I was going to hit. I played like a $30 straight one.
Right.
I had 5 singles and I played it was a $10 straight one. Then I had $5 wins, and 2 of my horses, one got beat in a photo, the other got beat by like a length and whatnot. They put on a good show and whatnot. But, it's hard to not get some upsets in these races.
It is.
Because that's how good these horses are. And your horse could run a really good race and just get run by somebody. Look, it's like we're going to talk about it in the next race. The Ogden Phipps. Yeah. It's a $500,000 race. It's for 3-year-olds and up. All right, we know Nitrogen. We've seen Nitrogen. The horses earned $2.4 million. This is a good horse, but the horse has lost 2 of those last 2 races, one 80 cents to $1, one 30 cents to $1. Mm-hmm. Now, what does that tell you? Tells you that this horse has got a celebrity status. He was, you know what I mean? So he's
has he peaked? Is he starting to regress, do you think, in his career?
I don't think he's regressing. I just think that there's other horses out there maturing who are just running a little bit faster. So at that point in time, if you could decipher that these other horses are getting better, the odds should reflect that. So if Nitrogen...
But are his buyers regressing?
No. 97, 91, 97, 95, 95, 93. They're not. But we know that Claret won by 4 that day and was like at 100 and change.
Yeah.
And ran an unbelievable race. So I think it's just a level of competition. You could run your 97. Yeah. If somebody runs 100, you're running second. So can that happen tomorrow in the Ogden Phipps? Probably not from what I'm seeing. But we do see Alpine Princess with a 97. And she's run a few pretty big ones.
Yep, just ran in the Dumbledore Stakes, grade 2.
I'm not, but you know what? On numbers, it looks to me like Nitrogen wins the race by 2.5 lengths.
Yep.
It just feels that way,
I think it would take a Claret. What was that horse's name?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Claret? Something like that?
Claret Beret, yeah.
Claret Beret.
Claret Beret.
It would take a horse like that, I feel like.
Because Claret's like a wine color. The beret is a hat, French wear.
Right.
Or Claret Beret.
Got it. Okay, here we go. Here's another Clarifix Stables horse, fully subscribed.
Oh man.
Golly gee.
They don't stop.
They must put. You know what they do? They put into their AI and they just say, hey, pump me out as many names for my horses. They need to be 2 words. They need to revolve around money or the stock market.
Yeah.
And give me as many as you got.
Yeah, unsubscribed. I mean,
I know, emerging market.
They're all economical.
Oh my God.
Kind of boring. So can't they do like mushroom happiness?
I know.
Just anything.
I wish, yeah.
How you feeling? How about how you feel? Here comes how you feeling.
Yeah,
they're not frivolous at all.
Yeah.
But you know what? We respect them. We respect them because they put out an unbelievable product.
Definitely.
And
it's just fun. We're just poking fun.
We're having fun.
Okay, so I'm Team Nitrogen as well.
Nitrogen. I mean,
I'm Team Nitrogen.
Would I bet? Obviously, you can't bet a ton on the horse. But if you were playing pick 5s, pick 6s, or something like that, you're gonna take them.
Definitely. Okay, where are we going next for tomorrow? Anything else you want to hit on for tomorrow?
There was one. Let me see. Well, there was one other race called the Wonder Again. It was on the inner turf for 300,000. I thought the only reason I mention it's a nice race for 3-year-old fillies. I find that Lion Lake, who's going to be the favorite, is very interesting because listen to these last 4 races. First by 3/4, first by a head, third by a neck, and third by a neck. I saw those races on TV at Churchill and at Keeneland. Mm-hmm. There were like a bunch of horses flying at the wire, and she didn't really get the bob.
Right.
Now, but her buyers are consistent 88s.
Right.
They're not higher than that. So I'm looking to see if there's anything higher than an 88. And guess what? There's
not seeing it, right?
She's got 3 88s, and there's Time to Dream's got an 84.
Right.
And other than that, you're not really seeing it. So unless this horse peaked in the spring and is about to go backwards, this horse makes the sense. But I gotta say, I'm totally impressed with Brendan Walsh as a trainer these last few years. Very respectable man, great Irish trainer, phenomenal horseman, great with turf horses, and he's got and Brian Lynch too. Brian Lynch and Brian Walsh, unbelievable. They've had incredible success in Kentucky.
I like it. I'm with you. Before we get into it, here turn the page to a different page, just the one page over, so you can't see. We're gonna play a game. Just turn over so you can't see it.
Oh.
All right, we're going to play a game. Don't look at my screen.
Oh, I won't.
I'm going to name horses, and you're going to tell me when to stop. And you tell me when to stop when we hit the horse that Clarevich Stables owns. But I'm not going to tell you who it is. Okay, you tell me when to stop.
Go ahead.
Soloist.
No.
Call on Me.
Are you kidding?
Quiet Street.
They don't live on quiet streets.
Fits Right.
Fits Right? What fits right? No chance.
Coach Missoula.
Coach Missoula, he worked at Millville now.
Tax Holiday.
Who?
Tax Holiday.
That one's got potential for Clary.
Time to Dream.
No, they don't dream much, this group.
Lion Lake.
Lion Lake, no, they don't like animals.
And Pashmina.
Pashmina? Is that like a Greek food or something? Didn't we have that for dinner, you and I?
Yeah. So
that was Tax Holiday.
You got it.
It's Tax
right
Holiday.
On the money. You got it right on the money.
Oh my gosh. They are consistent. I mean, but
they are consistent. It's fun. Okay, so I'm Team Lion Lake here as well. Jeez, I guess I'm extremely chalky tomorrow.
388s in a row. Like I said, the only thing that sometimes happens with a horse like this,
right?
They're running at Saratoga. Is she at Saratoga for the first time? She might be at Saratoga for the first time. And she's had a big, busy... She ran at Gulfstream. She ran at Keeneland. She ran at Churchill. She's had a busy spring. Is there any chance this horse is about to take a step back?
Yeah, it is her first time at Gulfstream. Or, I'm sorry, Saratoga.
Yeah. So, but nonetheless, I mean, the horse should get overplayed. How about 7-5? What do you think?
I think you're right in
line.
Fair? I was going to say 8-5, but if it was 7-5, I wouldn't be surprised.
And the question is, it's like, I'll be honest with you, I've won on these horses a lot, but I would have to see her in the flesh.
Right.
It was like West End Kid today. West End Kid, I made a mistake. West End Kid was one of my best bets of the day. It was 4-5.
Mm-hmm.
And Glavin came out and looked real good for, I think it was Thomas Morley. And instead of betting the 50 to win on West End Kid, I bet $25 exacta box. Doesn't Glavin get off bad? Makes a move.
I freaking hate that. That's why I hate
West
exactas.
End Kid, I was kicking myself. And he wound up going up even money. West End Kid was one of my best bets. I got my hands like this going, how many times are you going to do this? You know?
Yeah. All right. I want to branch off because we covered some of the races that we wanted for tomorrow. We covered the Belmont. I want to talk about something that we saw. So we did our inaugural kickoff opening weekend trip to Delaware Park together.
Yeah.
It was your second trip of the year, my first.
Yeah.
My son, who's 7 months old now, Luca, it was his first trip. He had a blast.
That nectarine.
He had some nectarine.
First nectarine that ever went into his mouth.
Yep, it was. He loved it.
Sight.
He loved it. We were there, and we caught wind of something going on at Delaware Park. We had talked about it a little bit, or at least exchanged some thoughts prior to. But I want to kind of dig into this a little bit and tell me what your thoughts are. So this is what we saw. We saw the horse we liked. 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. Get bet down to 8-5, 7-5, something like that. Go into the gate. Gate opens. You bet the horse to win, and then ends up going off 1-5, 2-5 after the next click.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, we saw it
happened 3 times that day.
What do you think is happening? And do you think that it's dangerous for the small tracks like Delaware and like bad for the game? What do you think's happening?
I would say definitely, because if you go look, if you're a serious player, you got a horse. He's been 4-5 for like 8 minutes. He looks great. You're very confident he's going to win. You feel confident. You bet your 50. We're not huge bettors. You bet your 50. You make your $40. That's what you're thinking. While they're running, one of those horses that day, I think her name was Sweet Carly. While they're running, I look up at the board. This was after they pulled out of the gate. The horse said 1-9. The horse paid $2.20.
It's crazy.
Now, ultimately, they're saying that these computer groups are playing at the very last second. Why would they want 1-9? They're obviously geniuses. Why wouldn't they compute in their minds that I'm going to make this horse 1-9? If they bet less, they'd get back just the same.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't understand what's going on. These algorithms or whatever's going on with these computer algorithms, somehow or another, they're just pummeling. They're just doing stuff that's outrageous.
Yeah.
It's got to be outrageous. They're not making money. How much money? If you bet $10,000 on a horse and he goes to 1-9, you ain't making much. $100?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So how do you think it impacts the racetrack like Delaware Park, which is already kind of a struggling racetrack? You know what I mean? Like it's not
You know
good.
what? It's not good. It's not good because the pools are small at Delaware, as you know. Now, if you got small pools and whatnot, and it's a shame because I hate to say it, but it kind of gyps the public.
Yeah.
These people, in other words, it's like, who's going to get a thrill out of having a horse win at 1-9? I mean, I remember betting a horse 40 to win and went off 1-5 after going in the gate at 3-2, and it was like,
it was like, what are we doing here?
You win like $6. It wasn't even the money. It was like it just wasn't fair.
Yeah,
it just didn't seem fair. And you and I've grown up at real serious racetracks where you would never see that happen.
Right.
Once in a blue moon, something crazy would lower the odds
randomly,
but not like that.
Yes.
So obviously there's problems at the small tracks because the pools are smaller, and especially with Jamie Ness horses. Jamie's incredible. He's one of the leading trainers in the Northeast.
Yeah.
They see his horses, they just automatically throw 20 grand on him. I mean,
so you bet 10,000 horses 1-9, you get back $1,100. So it's like weird power plays for small thousands. I mean, the horse falls. Now all of a sudden you need 10 more
get
smacks.
Stuck in the grade or whatnot. But you know what? Ultimately, the problem is you wind up losing the avid horse players like me and you. We're people who want fairness.
Right.
We've grown up with fairness in the game, and this isn't illegal, but it goes in a way. There's something perverted about it.
Yeah, agreed. It just feels like unethical, not illegal.
Yeah.
It makes me. I mean, I left the track, and Delaware's close for us. It's like 45 minutes,
beautiful.
And it's an easy, smooth ride, and it's a racetrack I grew up going to. But it almost made me, because I am one of those players who I'm looking for like daily doubles and more win plays. It made me think like, okay, the next time we want to do a racetrack day, let's not drive 45. Let's just drive an hour and a half and go to Monmouth Park, because the fields are going to be bigger. The quality of racing.
There'll be more money back.
More money, precisely. You know? So less likelihood for something like that to even
happen there once in a while too. I've seen that happen.
Yeah, I would like to see. I mean, you won't see it when you're in the New York company, when you're in races like that with the big money being played.
A lot of that in the better races is because there's multiple good horses in every race.
Yeah, of course. Right. So it's not worth the risk. Yeah, it's not worth the risk.
Yeah, but I mean, you feel bad because, like I said, I grew up at Delaware Park. There used to be 20,000 people there, and it had great racing with Grover Delp and tons of great racing. And you should be able to get some prizes.
Yeah, I agree. But more to come with that. I think that what we have coming up now is we preview the Belmont. We'll do a recap of the Belmont because next week we will be in Ocean City with you for a few nights, so we can do a post pod talking about the Belmont. That'd be fun. One night we can do that.
Right.
We have the Saratoga season, which is a month and change away, so we have to get together with our boys, our cousins, and talk about our fantasy draft because you're 1-0 in that league. You kicked ass last year.
Well, there again. I'm retired. I spend a lot of time. I love horse racing. You guys are busy. I have an edge because, and you know what? It's like anything else. The more you do something, that it just plays in your head now. And remember last year, I had a real good feeling for Jose Ortiz.
You did.
Coming off of that spring he had at Churchill.
Yeah.
And these things carry over. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you what. This year, right now, and he didn't have a good year last year, Manny Franco.
I had him on my team.
Manny Franco had a huge year this year, and
think he carries that momentum to the summer.
I think there's a chance because I'm seeing him. I'm seeing Linda Rice use him. I'm seeing Chad use him more. Miguel Clement today said he loves the way he rides. He's going to use him more. So a lot of your major players are going to be using Manny. Great reflexes. It's a speed track. It plays into his strength.
Yeah. It does. I mean, I had him last year, and he was great. He was my second pick overall. My first pick was Dylan Davis, and Manny ended up scoring me more points on the year.
How many points did Manny have? Like 20? Something like that? I know I underachieved a little bit because we thought he was going to have a little bit more because Kendrick dominated on the numbers on the improved line last year.
Let's see. So I don't know if this is fully updated till the end of time, but I have Manny Franco here, had 17 winners, 31 second place finishes, and 34 thirds.
That's a good season.
He was my top point scorer.
That's a good season. That's a good season.
And that's a good season for him. Just to recap, you had an unbelievable year. Jose Ortiz ended up netting you 157 points.
Yeah.
Rosario ended up getting you 75. So
Rosie
he was
good.
unbelievable.
Rosie won't. What if Rosie's coming back? He's in California now. Oh no, he's going to ride at Del Mar, I believe.
Yeah.
So we won't see Rosie this summer.
And think about this. Dewey D, our cousin Dew, finished in second place, and he had 127 points out of Flavian, 77 points out of Saez, 116 points out of Ricardo Santana, and then his other two picks netted him 3 points total. Yeah. So that's why your team was so good. Your team was very balanced.
Yeah.
Well, Dettori didn't do much, but you had four jocks that all went hard.
Johnny V had a good meet. He didn't have that many mounts, and he just had a good meet.
Yeah, and you had Carmouche, which was a sleeper pick, and he got you 72.
Man. Yeah, now the problem is they're going to make him miss the first week of Saratoga. I believe he told me the first week. I mean, there's only like how many weeks are there? There's eight weeks.
Yeah.
You miss a week, that's a lot,
True. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to rerun that back. We're going to add trainers into the mix this year too.
Yeah.
So you'll have 4 jockeys and a trainer.
Or how about 3 jockeys and 2 trainers?
Yeah, that's true. Well, we can talk about it. That'd be cool too. Because 3 jockeys, 2 trainers.
There's only going to be about 6 dominant jockeys. So
there's more jockeys though by a lot than trainers that had any sort of numbers. I'll show you.
Well, that's probably.
You know what I mean? Like the drop off is crazy.
Rice and Chad Brown were the dominant force last year.
Yeah. So okay.
And then TP and
Chad had 32 winners. To put that in perspective, who had 32 winners on the jockey side? Let's see who he would have been equivalent to. 32 winners is around the production of Santana. That's a lot. So Santana ended up scoring last year 116 points. So Chad Brown would be like a first or second round pick. So then you got Chad, you have TP, you have Linda, and then after that, the jump is drastic down to Miguel Clement, who only had 18. I guess that's still not terrible.
Yeah, but you said 18, but did he how many per second?
Not many. He had 8 second place finishes and 11 thirds.
Not bad.
So I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Because jockeys, look, we're going to get the obviously. Well, I guess Tyler will probably ride here.
You make a good point. I like I also would like to add one more person into the league this year to go to 5 as opposed to 4. So if we do that, you could get if you wanted, there's 11 potential trainers that had 10 plus wins last year. So if there's 5 of us, it's essentially 2 trainers apiece. Kind of cool. And then jockeys that had 10 plus wins, there was 12. So under that metric, we have 11 and 12. So we have 23 possible picks out of what we would make 20. That's kind of nice.
You know what? We could even throw something else in for fun and say, what post position is going to win the most? You get the 10 point just for fun.
Yeah.
Or we might come up with a couple imaginative type things, just to get a few chuckles.
I agree.
Some fun.
I agree.
Because in the long run, remember when we were playing last year, even if we didn't play every race, you always had a chance to root for your jockey.
You did, which was fun.
So ultimately,
that was fun.
Think about it. We're creating an involvement.
Right.
And once you create that involvement, the human being, it's you could root for something that's, look, as well as I could bet $5 on a horse who's 8-5 and be screaming as loud as someone is. It just depends on your mood.
Definitely. Definitely. So that will be coming soon because we'll have that. We'll have to take into consideration Kendrick Carmouche's suspension, so maybe that puts him to a second or third round pick.
But it's trouble.
It is trouble.
It's trouble. The first week's not fair.
But that's what we have right now. We're keeping our plate real light, and then we'll pick up steam as the core season, which is really the Saratoga meet, gets going, and a lot of fun stuff to talk about there. But Daily Double Pod, this was a good one. I feel like we got a lot of good stuff out. I'll get this up tomorrow.
It's fun to get back. And let's throw a shout out to Katie Davis. Katie got hurt today. Hopefully not serious. A potential concussion. She was taken to Albany Hospital. She was on a horse who reared in the gate. She hit her head. I haven't been able to find out, but kudos, Katie. We love you, and we hope you're okay.
Definitely. And since we were here last, we had the return of Jackie Davis and Dylan Davis back to at least a good enough health to ride, do what they love to do, make a living riding.
In every race
so
almost.
so I'm happy for that. That's so cool.
Jackie's riding
back to doing their thing.
I played her on a horse with Finger Lakes the other day.
Nice. Yeah, that's so cool. So a lot of good stuff. We'll keep you up posted as we go. And Daily Double Pod coming to you live in June 2026.
And I'll tell you what, you and I both know one thing. We could say it right this minute. This Belmont's a little shaky.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a little shaky because of the lack of pace.
It is.
And because the way speed's playing. Sometimes you think in your mind you know who the best horse is, but you have to play the track as well.
True. Truth be told.
This could be an interesting move. Look, sometimes great horses can overcome biases, though. And we'll find out if these horses are good enough to overcome biases,
Yeah. Who do you think's more likely to win the race?
I would think Renegade. When I see Renegade with I won't say he had like a horrible trip, because he was the beneficiary of a fast pace.
Mm-hmm.
So that was in his favor. But he looked to me like he got slammed a couple times in the first couple hundred yards. Then he had to angle out. But you know what? When he was ahead of Golden Tempo when they made the move, and Golden Tempo wind up surpassing him. So maybe Golden Tempo's coming into his own as well as a racehorse. We've seen this happen.
It's true.
I mean, we'll find out more. Just, hey, look, we should mention one more thing.
Go ahead, let's do it.
The Met Mile, journalism. How do you think journalism's going to do in the Met Mile against Nisos, Saudi Crown, and who was the other horse? There was one, Antiquarian. How do you think journalism's going to fare in this mile event? What do you think? What do you think journalism will do? Do you think it's going to win this race?
Yes.
You think it's a good chance he wins the race?
I do. It's a
you
great
think
distance.
Going to send him? You think he'll send him close?
Close. Not send him to the lead. Close.
Send him within 3 lengths of the lead.
Yep. He finally gets a soft race, and I say that with care. But there's not that many horses. He really has 1.5 targets that he needs to beat. I think he gets the job done.
I think this could be a great race.
Me too.
I think this could be a great race. But ultimately, when you look close, Nisos hasn't done much wrong in his career, and he's always game. So he does get the rail. I don't know if that's going to force his hand and whatnot. I think I'd rather be on the outside like Sovereignty. I'm not Sovereignty, but like journalism.
Journalism, yeah.
But nonetheless, I played a couple horses today because they were on the outside, and it didn't serve the purpose. The inside speed did better. So we'll see how the track's playing.
True. I
but
it.
Great to be back.
Yeah, great to be back.
And we'll see what happens. I think we know what's going down. We know what's going down, and we're part of the game. Put it there, bud. Good.
Put it there. Great stuff, and we'll see you soon.
Right on, guys. Be well.
Be well.